Now, while we're not exactly in the habit of making magic, I think it's time for us to make abundant, tangible habits. Alright, so now this is a throwback. Let's see what I was talking about here. Let me play the video in the background. Let's see what this is.
Just think of it like you're driving to find somebody's house. You know that they live at, say, 17 Coral Avenue. I just made that up. If you drive and you end up at 23, how far back do you need to turn? You know what I mean? So that's sort of what we're doing here, right? So what that means is, so
Yeah, give me a second.
64.
Okay, so the title of the video is First Person Tutor, Let's Pirate, and pirate means, oh, I can put it here. Now, pirate is supposed to mean post it right away to everyone. So, yeah, so just in case you ever wonder what it meant, then yes. So this is making abundant, tangible habits, and of course, this is a post it right away to everyone edition. So yes, the title of the video is First Person Tutor, Let's Pirate and Make Abundant Tangible Habits, Throwback or hashtag Throwback Part 1. Now, I guess the idea behind the series is that I'm going to look at the video that I made and sort of retcon the entire situation. In other words, that is how I did it back then, and this is how I do it now. So yeah, let's fix all of that madness that I had in that video. So the video in question has us tackling this particular question, right? Alright, so we start with that, and then it continues. And then we have one more thing to do. Our divisor, that's 64, we create a timetable of that which is on the outside. So we are going to do that right here. 64 plus 64 is 128. 64 plus 128. 192 plus 64. 256 plus 64. 320 plus 64, resulting in 384. 384 plus 64. 448 plus 64. 512 plus 64. And lastly, a 0 to the right of 64. That's how you know you've done this correctly. Now, there's something else. We're going to pretend for a moment that the decimal point that we had here is going to disappear. So let's underline. Now, 13 is smaller than everything. So, well, everything on this side. All of the multiples here. Right, 13 is smaller than 64, 128, going all the way down. In other words, you have $13, the cheapest item is 64. You can't buy anything in the store, and therefore, and thus the 0 goes up there. Now we're going to underline. So now we underline what's next, which is 0. Now it looks like 13 became 130. 130 is bigger than 64, and 128 smaller than everything else. Now I put the X's there as a precaution, that way we don't pass our stop, right? So 2 ticks or 2 check marks, that tells you what number goes above the 0 right there. Now each and every one of these will have a number above it, right? So you're going to have a number that goes here, 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 and here. So I believe we have about 5 of them left to go, just for context. Anyhow, 130 minus 128, or my favorite thing to do is, alright, so 128 plus what in the box gives you 130. The answer is 2, and that 2 goes behind 130 because we're done with 130. So once more, all these X's mean that 13 is greater than none of them, hence all the X's, hence the 0. Now the 2 check marks mean there's only 2, and that 2 goes above this 0. Now that we're focused on the number 20, Yeah. So that means that 0 goes above our 20. I'm hoping we're making sense. Now we underline. So we underline the next 0 or the subsequent 0. Anyway, so yeah, with that, it now goes from being 20 to 200. So now we ask if 200 is greater than anything over here. And with that in mind, 200 is greater than 64, 128, and 192. So we have 3, so we have 3, so we're going to put 3. So for now, we leave it at this. Alright, we'll leave that this for now. So when we get back, we will finish the rest of that. So